Welcome to Nichols Dam. This is a key piece of the city's water infrastructure, and we've been storing water here for municipal use for more than 80 years. I'm Jesse Roach, and I'm currently away from my sort of normal position as Director of City of Santa Fe Water and serving as Interim Public Utilities Department Director. Jonathan Montoya is here, who's serving as Water Division Director. Thank you, Jonathan. You know, one of the first things that I remember happening after I got to the city in 2019 is that the rating of both Nichols and upstream McClure dams were downgraded from good to poor. And that was based on results of a detailed assessment of the dams that we'd undertaken in 2017 and 2018. And we're here today to celebrate the completion of a nearly 18-month, $20 million construction project that has fixed the potential safety concerns at Nichols that were identified in those studies. Yay! All right! The importance of the safety of our Santa Fe River reservoirs obviously cannot be overstated. And the cost and time associated with this project gives a good sense of the magnitude. But there's a few other interesting facts to offer. The construction involved moving approximately 25,000 cubic yards of earth, which is the equivalent of a football stadium with 12 feet of dirt in it. For a year and a half, we had an active construction site in the bottom of a flowing river. And so to keep it dry, a temporary dam was constructed upstream of Nichols Dam, and approximately 1 billion gallons of water were pumped around the dam during construction. That's more than 4 times the volume of water we're looking at in the reservoir right now, and about 1/3 of the city's annual use. The dam also moved about 1/4 of an inch upstream when the reservoir was drained, and now it's returning to the original position. A project of this magnitude requires major contributions from a wide range of people, and so I want to provide a brief thanks to some of those. On the city staff side of things, John Del Mar, Water Engineering Supervisor. Taylor Juergens, the lead staff engineer and the project manager. And Joe Olivas, the operations superintendent at Canyon Road, in the back there. Along with Brian Montoya, actually, back there with him. They have all lived and breathed Nichols for the past 18 months and longer. So thank you all. Design and construction oversight was provided by AECOM Engineering, who is a global leader in earth and dam design and repair. An inclinometer was installed to measure any movement in the dam. And John Sikora is here representing AECOM. John, raise your hand. Thank you, John. And construction was done by CF Padilla, a New Mexico-based contractor with a proven record with dams. And the city has been extremely pleased with the work that Padilla has done. CF Padilla didn't advance a single change order over the course of the project. So, members of CF Padilla, if you could raise your hands for recognition. They've done an incredible job for us up here. And the state stepped up in a big way to help us fund this project. The Water Trust Board provided $3.3 million in the form of a grant and $2.2 million in addition as low-interest loan. The remaining cost is covered by a Clean Water State Revolving Fund loan at 0.01% interest administered by the New Mexico Environment Department. So thank you to the funders, and I think we'll have an opportunity to hear from one of them, but that has been tremendous. And I now would like to pass the mic to Sushil Chaudhary, the Office of the State Engineers Dam Safety Bureau Chief, who has worked closely with us throughout this project. Sushil was part of inspections going back a decade or more that started the ball rolling towards the rehabilitated dam that we're standing on today. Sushil provided analysis and approval of the proposed design and was on site monitoring the actual construction throughout the project. Join me in thanking and welcoming Sushil.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason. Good afternoon. So, if you are looking for the guy who rated this dam from good to poor, that would be me. So it's really heartening to see all those deficiencies that we had identified have been addressed now, right? So, as a Dam Safety Bureau, we regulate dams under state jurisdiction. We inspect, we evaluate the operations and maintenance. We rate them on dam safety issues, and we ask the owners to address those. So that's our job. But I think besides that, we have been also supporting rehab works on deficient dams across the state. And even in this case, what Jesse might not have mentioned is we did assist financially in the design phase. So in 2021, when the city reached the contract limit with AECOM and design was not finished, we stepped in and we brought them under our on-call contract, and we pitched in and helped finish the design. So legislature does provide some appropriation to the Office of the State Engineer to support dam safety, dam rehab projects statewide, and we have been supporting numerous projects across the state. And so we are happy to be a partner on this one. I know it's important. You know, these issues needed to be fixed. And I believe with this project, it has not only addressed those deficiencies, but also modernized everything, you know, and brought everything up to the current standard. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sushil. And I apologize that I forgot about that funding assistance. That was very much appreciated. Next, I'd like to introduce Tanya Trujillo, who is the Deputy State Engineer and Governor's Water Policy Advisor. Tanya is a locally grown national water policy expert. She has a bachelor's degree from Stanford and a JD from University of Iowa College of Law. In her illustrious water policy career, she has spent time as General Counsel for the New Mexico Interstate Stream Commission, Counsel to the United States Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources for Senator Jeff Bingaman, Project Director for the Colorado River Sustainability Campaign, and Executive Director of the Colorado River Board of California. Before bringing her talents back to her home state, at the request of President Joe Biden, Tanya served as the Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Department of the Interior for Water and Science. New Mexico is lucky to have Tanya working on our water policy, and we're lucky to have her here to celebrate the completion of this project.
Thank you, Jesse. I am very honored to be here and really honored to work with Sushil. As you can tell, he's an extremely talented dam safety engineer and, you know, keeps all of our citizens safe throughout the state. I'm happy to be here. As a citizen of Santa Fe, I'm actually a neighbor just right down the street, and really want to commend the city for the great progress that you've made with this project and all of your water management in general. I think the key is the partnerships that we have in the state to do projects like this, whether you're from a state agency or a local entity, and trying to just do the best we can in the climate change context that we have today. So thank you all very much. Thank you, Jesse.
Okay. I'd like to repeat my thanks to the Water Trust Board, the New Mexico Finance Authority, and New Mexico Environment Department for their roles in fully funding, either through grant or low-interest loans, the entire price tag of this construction project. And I think we have Jonas Armstrong from NMED here.
Thanks, folks. Happy to be here this afternoon. This successful project is exactly what we at the Environment Department like to see in terms of combining our funding sources. We've got so many water infrastructure funding sources across the state that it's hard often for a community to know how to use them the right way. And it's great to see the city of Santa Fe taking maintenance of their water infrastructure seriously, showing a willingness to stack those funding sources from the Water Trust Board, from the Clean Water Revolving Loan Fund, and achieve this fantastic project that we see today. Maintaining your infrastructure, maintaining your resiliency in the climate change that Tanya just talked about is so important. And this is an example that we can point to at the Environment Department for other communities across the state. So we just appreciate you all taking the time and making the effort to put money into your water infrastructure systems, not just up here at your wastewater plant, maintaining your well field. There's so much that goes into it, and it's such a huge lift, and it's great to see all the folks here today that really work hard to make that happen. So thanks again for inviting me here to enjoy this success with you, and good luck going forward.
Thank you for your support. And finally, I'd like to hand the mic to someone who needs no introduction. Mayor Alan Weber has served as a tremendous leader for the city and champion for water through his two terms as mayor. He's curious, listens, and has provided the right recommendations at the right time to help staff move this and other projects forward. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
See how quickly he wanted to get away from me? Come here, come here. Can we hear it for Jesse, everybody? Come on. It's a real leader who knows how to thank everybody else and doesn't even mention his own role in getting these things done. Thank you, my friend. I do have one criticism. I've been trying to teach Jesse how to do presentations, and he generously wrote me some talking points, but as usual, he buried the lead. I've done tell him, whenever you do a slideshow, where do you put first, Jesse?
An overview. Where are you going?
The thing that was last goes first. So the next to last talking point that we should all know is that this project was completed on budget and on schedule. All right? So, thank you. There are a few things Jesse wanted me to mention. I'm happy to do it. But before I do, I really do want to thank everybody who's here today. This is a team effort, and it is absolutely essential to the city's well-being, as was said, that we take care of these huge infrastructure projects that are so instrumental to the city's well-being. Water is life, and if you look up here, you see why that's so critical and why improvements too long deferred turn into potential danger. And taking care of all of our system, as was mentioned, is really part of the city's commitment to the people who live here. And we have a couple great city council members here who deserve a lot of the credit as well. Councilor Merrill Worth, Councilor Cassett. You guys are awesome. Carol has been our water guru, and we're very lucky to have that here. Let me just make a few points, and then we will go to Jesse's solid gold valve there and open the Donald Trump Memorial Waterway. A couple of points that Jesse generously provided me with. They're worth noting. In 1942, Nichols Dam was constructed on the Santa Fe River, creating what was at that time the third reservoir for storage of municipal water on the Santa Fe River. With the decommissioning of the 2-mile dam in 1994, Nichols and the upstream McClure are the only two reservoirs on the Santa Fe River serving the critical role of storing snowmelt and rainfall when it comes for use by the city when it's needed. Nichols currently represents almost 20% of the storage on the Santa Fe River, and if you look, the reservoir you are looking at is currently 100% full. So that's a big deal, folks. The work that has now been completed upgraded the pipe that moves water from the reservoir to the outlet of the dam, or in engineering terms, I'm told, it's called the outlet conduit. So we must speak engineering if we're going to get this right. The new conduit delivers water into the building at the toe of the dam from where it can be directed to the Canyon Road Water Treatment Plant onto any of 4 acequias or the Santa Fe River in support of our Living River commitment. The project also made safety improvements to the dam embankment, a lot of improvements that need to be acknowledged, including we're going to begin bubbling oxygen-rich air through the reservoir, which will improve water quality and simplify the water treatment process at the Canyon Road Water Treatment Plant. For Councilor Romeroworth and I are about to move on to other occupational pursuits. This is a great day. For all of you, thank you. But for us, we get to take a look at this important project and in the outdoors, live by the motto, try to leave things better than you found them. And that is what we're seeing today. This is a massive upgrade, a huge investment, and it's going to make a difference for years and years to come because smart people in important jobs took their work seriously, got partners, got help, built a coalition, and today we get to be the beneficiaries of that. So give yourselves another round of applause, and then we will open the golden valve.
I hear it.
Congratulations, it worked, brother.
We're celebrating here. Look at it go.
Right.
That's awesome.
Look at it. Hey! I knew he was going to do something. It's like a scene out of Chinatown.
Best opening ceremony ever, right?
Don't cut your nose. Good job, brother. Congratulations.
It might be 4 more miles. Yeah. It's bigger, so this one. All right, big smiles.
Hey!
3, 2, 1. Knuckle Dam's open.
Hey!
Here we go. Thank you. The original, what we call the outlet conduit, which is the pipe that took water from the upstream side and the reservoir through the dam to the bottom, was a 5-foot concrete hand-poured pipe, 80 years old. And before there was a dam here, they identified the site as a good place for a dam, and they poured this pipe just in the river bottom, following the meanders of the river, and it bent a couple different times. And then they put the dam in on top of it. So then you have a dam to block the river and a way to get water through that dam. That was starting to leak, and what this project did was a rehabilitation of the outlet conduit, taking a 2-foot diameter HDPE plastic pipe, each section welded together, so it's essentially a single pipe all the way through the dam, and it's like the wall thickness is like 1 inch thick. It's high pressure pipe, and they dragged that through the old conduit, connected it to the upstream side, and then filled all the space around it with cement. And so now we have a new conduit that's fully pressurized all the way through the dam and all the way down to Canyon Road Water Treatment Plant. And so we're going to be able to start generating hydroelectricity with the pressure from this reservoir up here. We haven't bought that turbine yet, but once we invest in the turbine, we'll be able to start making electricity. It used to be that in order to get the right flow to the treatment plant, we were down here putting in plates at this like sort of box weir, and then it would go into a pipe that was gravity down the riverbed. And so the riverbed had a huge 2-foot metal pipe going through it. We removed that, Padilla removed that. It's all sort of restored river channel now. And all fully automated valves and meters down there to measure every drop going to all these different places. We'll know at the end of the year, this is how much water was delivered to this acequia. This is how much water was delivered to the river. This is how much water went to the treatment plant. The other cool thing is it's now winter-proof. The pipe is buried, and so we could turn the treatment plant off in the winter, and just rely on Buckman. And with our new return flow project, there's operational efficiencies associated with going to seasonal use at Canyon Road and really leaning on the return flow project in the winter. So there's a lot of operational flexibility. You mentioned the bubbling of oxygen through the reservoir. What we didn't mention, because it was pretty far in the weeds, was that we add manganese to the water during treatment, and we won't have to do that anymore because we're adding oxygen up here. So there's just a whole level of improvements. They started with the safety improvements. Obviously, that was the reason and the driver, the most important piece. But a whole bunch of operational flexibility, modernization, the ability to measure, the ability to direct remotely, hydroelectricity, tons of advantages that have come out of this project. On time and on budget. And in fact, Padilla came in with a bid that was below our engineer's construction estimate. So not only was it on budget, it was below what we thought we might have to pay. So this is a tremendously successful project. We're have an amazing team carrying it out. And also we're carrying apart the other stuff, so it's kind of like there's also a state.